I've listened to you, and every time you talk, I just go back to, you needed that jumbo, didn't you, big boy? Hi everyone, this is Bad Gameplay Kirby. Welcome to the Real Gamerscore podcast. This week I am joined by Good Narrative Matt.
What's up?
And Something Better, Cameron.
Hey!
Here at Real Gamerscore, we like to discuss all things Xbox, achievements, and the popcorn is a lie. This week we talk about Sonic Fox being the most wholesome thing at EVO, forgotten cities in Scotland, and how to fleece the game industry with one easy fix. But first, here's the Song of the Week.
Listen to the walkthrough, watch the score rise. Running in your server, damn your boost, damn your time. And if you don't play me now, you will never beat me again. I can still hear you saying you would never complete this game, never. And if you haven't got it by then, you guys need to listen to some more music, because that is a classic.
Alright, and I really hope it recorded, because it was cutting out for me, so...
Oh,
Yeah.
perfect. That's fine.
I got the last second of-
I'll listen to it on the end and redo it if I have to.
I'm sure it's fine. I feel like from the snippets that I heard, I'm pretty sure it's a song I know.
I would hope so. It's another Guardians of the Galaxy song, from the second one this time.
No, I haven't seen that movie, so...
Alright, well,
Missing
I'm not gonna get into that debate.
Yeah, that's... Sorry, I haven't seen at all. And you can just put any movie there. And,
yeah.
you know.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll just put Babe Pig in the City, you know. Actually, that's a really good film.
That's a good movie, yeah. That's the sequel, yeah?
Yeah, so that's the amazing sequel to the incredible cult hit.
Babe. Alright, by Sonny and Cher. Okay, so... if you want to enter our Song of the Week competition and sort of guess what that song is, you can send your entry to the Real Gamerscore account on trueachievements.com. That's Real Gamerscore with a 5 instead of the S, all one word. Send your entries in and you'll be put into our monthly draw. It's really good fun. And, get in while it lasts, because Season 3, we may not do it. We may just go back to us guessing live and you all abusing me for not knowing music.
I mean, there's definitely some fun in that, to be fair.
Yeah. If you want to abuse me basically in real time, join the Discord. Discord.io/realgamerscore. This time with an S, not a 5. Oh, tricked ya. Keeping you on your toes. Yeah, you can join, read the very basic rules. It's basically don't be a terrible person. And we know if you're joining, you're probably not. Or maybe we're just seeing if you can read, because that's kind of important, it being a text-based chat program.
Yeah, I mean, look, as much as we appreciate people communicating through the magic of GIFs, there usually is some sort of text communication between the GIFs that you should be reading.
Yeah, that's us living in a dream world if it was just GIF only.
Don't forget to call out the people that have the very small, questionable images hidden in their screenshots. Hey.
Oh, yeah. Let's not give that too much publicity. That was hilarious, though.
That was brilliant. Yeah. If you want to support us monetarily, you can do so on Patreon. We have a Patreon, patreon.com/realgamerscore. You can give us lots of money. A shout out to one of our patrons, Hack and Pone, whose birthday it is today.
Yes, as we record, yes.
It's as we record today. Actually, so when he hears it, also today.
Yes, definitely, because I'm editing it, yeah.
So if you re-listen to this episode...
No,
in the future,
because he's in America and tomorrow is his today. You're a...
Yeah, but he might listen to the episode next week.
Yeah, you're right, actually. Yeah, to be fair, most of our listeners don't even keep up with the episodes, so who knows?
Hey, whenever you're listening, it's your birthday. And if you message Cameron on the Discord, he'll give you a $20 gift card for your birthday. So happy birthday
From ChinDocta's account.
No, message Cameron. Message Cameron. The patrons may be paying for that gift card. So technically you bought yourself a gift card. That's all good. The random to-do list. So I am been a little bit slack because of work, so all the prize drawings will be next week. The month of June is over, so you can't enter for Demon Tier Plus, which I've heard is fantastic, and I can't wait to try it myself. I have enjoyed Cowcat's other games. But the random to-do list, just as a recap, is a list of 25 achievements from your pool of locked achievements, so basically games you've played in your game collection that you haven't earned, and we draw 25 random ones, and you can just you can go for all of them, or you can be like, I haven't played that game in a while, and pick and choose. If you want to enter our competition related to that, you need to unlock at least one achievement in your random to-do list and send this phrase grammatically correct. So I need capital letters, I need a full stop, I don't know if I have a comma, I don't think so. I love money. Capital letter at the start of your sentence, full stop at the end, to the random to-do list account on trueachievements.com. Send that, because the prize this month is a gift card, $20 gift card for Xbox. So you only get one chance. If you've done it wrong, even if you then fix it and send another PM, that's it. That's your chance. Proper punctuation. I love money. Capital letter, full stop. Proper spelling. Easy.
Yeah, so no one's going to win that. There's no. So you might as well just rip up the card right now.
Yeah, the card that I physically bought and is physical, I will rip up if no one wins.
Perfect.
So it's definitely real. Yeah. And yeah, hopefully next week I'm not lazy. Next month I'm not lazy and I can find a game that I can give you. But that's better than nothing. I'm glad you've all missed me because I care so much and I'm so good at this show. That's why you've missed me the last however long. Moving into the news. First up, Evo 2020 has been cancelled. Now it was going to be an online event essentially.
Yeah.
It changed to online because of
COVID.
Because of COVID. So for anyone who doesn't know what Evo is essentially the biggest fighting. Like it's essentially it's a bunch of different tournaments. Yeah.
So basically, cool. Evo is the big fighting game tournament. It's comprised of a lot of different games, but it's usually it's the big one where everyone goes and tries to compete for the top spot. So like people like Daigo and stuff like that, the classic Evo winners. If you've seen, if you speaking of Daigo, if you've seen his perfect blocking of Chun-Li's super, it's pretty amazing. It's one of those. It's
one of those things that you can watch and not be any good at fighting games and go and still be impressed and be like, wow, that's definitely not easy.
Yeah, there's Evo has been the spawn of many great moments for video games. A lot of great upsets, and it is really the sort of fighting game mecca as it is in terms of who's the best of the best, and everyone comes together, and it's a really great. One of the best things about it is that it unites a lot of different places from the fighting game community, because obviously people have different games that they play, and so you have your classics that are almost always there. You almost always have a Street Fighter, usually a Mortal Kombat or an Injustice. And then
Tekken, I think, has come back in. Tekken 7 at least has made a real resurgence, because I don't think 6 was too hot.
Yeah, so people love 7. And then you usually have like some up and comers like Dragon Ball Z Fighters was a big one, or Dragon Ball Fighter Z.
Smash usually.
Smash has always been there, although it's been very controversial about whether it's a fighting game or not. I'm not going to get into that debate because I'll get crucified. But
hold up, what's the move with the ice climbers? What's the ice climber move called?
Which one? The spinny one?
No, where essentially they stun lock them into a hold.
Oh yeah.
So what's that called? Hold up, because that's my favorite. Because it's. Just...
I mean, look, like Smash Ultimate has been very, very popular. It usually has Smash usually has the most entrants of any of the games. usually 0 wins, but it's
wobbling. That's what it is. Because it's named after the guy that sort of made it big. But yeah, sorry.
Yeah, so,
wobbling as ice climbers. That's the ultimate strategy to annoy your friends and win every time. If you can master that, you will never lose to any of your friends.
I mean, my usual annoying strategy is to play as Jigglypuff and jump around the arena and just use the taunt over and over and over again until eventually I just die. It's a great way to use psychological warfare against your enemies.
Yeah. Funnily enough, I'm a Kirby main.
Oh yeah, I never would have guessed.
No.
I'm a Samus main myself. It's so obviously with COVID there's been a few changes. A lot of it was dropped. They essentially said that they weren't going to be having a in-person tournament anymore, which makes sense because America's kind of on fire at the moment. So it was greatly reduced down to, I think it was like 5 or 6 games that they were going to do, and it was all going to be an online tournament. And then, so there were a lot of people who were turning up their nose at it saying, well, online, doesn't really count. They should just cancel it, shouldn't do the tournament. But so it was reduced down to, I think it was Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter 5, them fighting herds, which is a great pun, but it was the My Little Pony based fighting game.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's not My Little Pony anymore because of copyright, but essentially it's all down to the art style of that. It's but it turned out apparently it's quite good. I haven't played it, but yeah, it's had a surge in popularity since its release, and then a couple of other games in there as well. So it was moved into an online. Everyone was like, okay, well, what are we going to do about that? And then just the other week, there's been some allegations raised around sexual misconduct around the games industry in general, and also in the wrestling industry and a few other bits of entertainment as well. People like Chris Avalone and things like that. And this Evo has not gone unaffected by this. Apparently, there was some allegations against their president. Was it Joey Seller?
Joey Color?
Color?
Yeah, I'm not sure how to pronounce it. C-U-A...
Cellular?
Yeah, sure, let's go with that.
Joey Cellular.
Joey AT&T.
Joey Verizon. So they've essentially said that, look, hey, because of all the bad press, a bunch of the developers of the games, so Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, so Capcom and NetherRealms, have pulled their support and aren't allowing their games to be played at the tournament, which the tournament basically runs on the agreement of having these companies say, yeah, it's fine for you to have all these copies of this game to play it competitively. Yep. So if they're not going to participate, then basically there's no point in having the event.
Saying that, though, these accusations, he did come out and say they were true too.
Yeah, he did, yeah. And so, I mean, not to get too deep into the weeds of how messed up this is and how, like, again, we're seeing a lot of the stuff around the industry, especially from Ubisoft has been one of the big ones, and Chris Avalone and a few others, but yeah, inappropriate and predatory behavior with underage boys during the mid to late 90s. Behavior was apparently repeated several times. Like, yeah, I just don't understand. Yeah, I mean, again, I don't want to get too in the weeds this because I don't really think our podcast is the right place to have deep and meaningful discussions around the state of the industry and how people should behave. Because I think I probably speak for all of us when I say all this stuff is horrific. And
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and it's just like it's unbelievable. And it's really unfortunate that this kind of stuff just keeps happening and just nothing seems to be being done about it. I mean, but from a business perspective, do you think there's going to be, like, is Evo going to recover from this? Like how do you come back in the next year? Assuming COVID is taken care of, which who knows at this point, but let's say 2021 they want to do the tournament again. I mean, like, are they going to get the buy-in from these companies?
Well,
go Cameron.
I was going to say, the main thing, like, me looking into it today was a lot of their big players, like, obviously condemning him, but condemning the fact that it's been held secret for so long too.
Yeah.
And there's, like, from all the articles that I've read today, it seems like there is a very strong sense of the players trying to hold Evo accountable moving forward. So I honestly do, like, granted COVID, all that kind of stuff, look, US is a nightmare at the moment. we've got no idea how these kind of events are going to run into the future, whether they're just going to be online only, or if they're going to...
Let's assume it all goes away and it's a physical tournament again. In person, everything that... We're just making that assumption.
Making that assumption, I believe that it could grow in some capacity, like, grow back to what it was, but it's going to be a long time coming, and it's going to have... Like, the players are going to hold everybody accountable in that industry. If that makes sense.
Yeah. I think as long as Joey is there, I don't think
he's gone.
He's gone. So they've gotten rid of him. Yeah. So they've just recently announced that he's now their ex-president, and
okay. Somebody's standing up.
Tony Cannon.
That's it. Something like that.
What a name. Okay, with him gone, I don't think the bigger ones will come back first year back. So I don't necessarily think Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, what's the other major one that pulled out? Tekken. I don't think those will be back next year. I think it'll be an India tournament, if that makes sense. Like, it'll be a lot more smaller titles, and then sort of I honestly think it pretty much has to regrow its brand. Because there was a lot of accusation with sort of apparently those accusations within the Smash Bros scene, a lot of pro gamers being accused of sexual misconduct.
And Zero, one of their champions, guy who's won many tournaments, basically coming out and saying he had a bunch of stuff, but then also a bunch of responses to that tweet saying, hey, that's like, you're only admitting to half of the stuff, I'm going to have a bunch more to talk about. So I get a feeling this is going to get worse before it gets better for those people and for Evo. I mean, rightly so. Like, this is, like they should absolutely be called out for all this stuff. But I just don't see them coming back from it. Without those games,
no.
I mean, like, without, I definitely don't see Nintendo being like, yeah, sure, show Smash Brothers, don't worry about it. Like, there's no, like, of all the companies, there's no way Nintendo's going to want to get involved in any of this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're Nintendo never coming back. I think Evo is essentially, if it's going to come back, it's going to be a lot of the same people starting a different tournament. Yeah. So an OV to not be too dumb about it, but where it's not going to be, it's essentially going to be Evo, but it's going to be not called Evo.
Basically, what they do in the tourism industry when somebody dies.
What?
Tangent, but basically, like, so you have a ride or something, somebody dies due to misconduct, the same kind of people change the name of the business.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all business.
Oh,
yeah.
You said tourism. I thought you meant the travel industry. Like, someone died on a plane, we've got to change the name of the whole company now. Like, I was like, what? I have never heard of this happening. It's actually a Boeing 787B now.
Definitely not a Max.
Not a 787 that one guy died on. I was really confused.
Was the Boeing 787 the one that got recalled?
The Max one, I think, was, yeah.
The Max, okay. Because I was just going to say, if you're calling out Boeing and the fact that they got recalled, then probably not the right analogy, but anyway.
What was that supersonic commercial plane?
The Concorde. Love Concorde.
So basically, you go and swim with the sharks. Somebody gets eaten, and then you're not Sharks Are Us anymore. It's like, go pet the friendly sharks or something. I don't know.
Sharks. S is for shark.
Yes, there you go. Yep, exactly. I feel like there's a lot of money in that. All right. Anyway, before we get way too off track and basically devolve this conversation into being completely meaningless, let's move on.
Cameron, Yep. Well, Cameron, you put this in, so tell us all about this news story.
Alright, so we know that there's at least one new console coming out.
Yep, the Series X.
Allegedly. Come on, we still haven't got a release date yet. I'm not believing it till I see it.
Right. Well, there's also rumors about a second console. Yeah.
The Lockhart, yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
And now there's
PS5 digital. Yep.
What the PS5 digital? Did you say?
PS5 all digital. Yep.
Yeah, that's okay. That is another console that is coming out. Yes, that is technically correct.
So basically, this news story is some people have done some digging into the game development kit, and it sparked rumors about a possible third. The GDK. Yep. Game development kit. Yep. Cool. Thanks, Kirby.
Cool.
Yeah. So there's sparked rumors about a third possible Xbox Series X.
Yeah, so, I mean, because...
What's the project called?
Edinburgh.
You mean... I'm sorry, what was that?
What was that? What was that, Cameron?
Edinburgh?
Like Molenbeek?
It kind of looks like it's spelled like the city in Scotland.
Yes, Edinburgh.
Edinburgh.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I would have said Edinburgh, but I guess Edinburgh is also...
But it's totally cool to make fun of my lisp, so that's fine.
Look,
Your list doesn't say
it's got nothing to do with the
doesn't say
list, but the fact
instead
that
of
you're not nearly Scottish enough to be reading this news story, apparently.
It's that fact that I'm actually
That's the
Scottish.
only reason I wanted Cameron to do that, because I was like, I really hope he doesn't know how to say Edinburgh. And has never come across that word before.
Oh, boy.
I've come across
now-
it, but only in text form.
All right.
It is in text form. What are you on about?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He's
I
never heard it
haven't
out loud.
pronounced it ever.
Oh, you've never heard anyone say Edinburgh?
No. Till now.
He was more of a Glaswegian himself.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I've never Glaswegian myself.
Anyway, so 3 names. The Scottish City, the
Yes.
Snake, and Lockhart.
Oh, okay, yep.
Oh, Anaconda. Gotcha.
Yeah,
I was
so
like,
Anaconda.
snake. I don't know. I'm a snake.
Because the Anaconda's out. Anyway.
No, I got it eventually. I just was really confused because I forgot it was called the Anaconda.
Yeah. So, which one's meant to be the Xbox Series X at launch?
The
Like
Anaconda.
the main one.
Anaconda.
So
yeah?
the Series X is the Anaconda. The Lockhart is supposedly is going to be the Series S, which is going to be their sort of low-end version that we talked about.
But still better than the PS5, apparently.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, like, I don't even know.
Whatever.
Half the price.
Yeah, and then there's there's the Edinburgh, and then there's also the Count, or something called Count. I mean, to be fair, I'm thinking maybe the code name is just they're just counting how many consoles they're going to have to release this year. But I don't know. I mean, like, what on earth could it be?
Well, Jez, who frequently posts on Twitter, said it could be even something as simple as an xCloud server.
Oh, okay. So it's essentially the Stadia of the Xbox Stadia.
Dude, okay. You mentioned it.
Sidetrack.
There was some news story that was like, Stadia has beaten the consoles, and like...
I'm sorry, what?
I really wish I could... Okay, you go... I'm going to find this.
Well, I want to talk about this now, but now you've just sidetracked me. All right, so Stadia beating anything is... I mean, I don't...
Oh, found it.
All right, there we go.
That was quick. Google has successfully eliminated the game console.
Oh, that's why my one disappeared.
Yeah. Google has successfully eliminated the game.
Question.
Yes.
Two-part question. First part is, where are you getting that news article? Second part of that question is, how much are they paying them?
Yeah. I mean, it was made by Phil Harrison. Like, he's the one who made the article. So,
Okay. So, yeah, now that we sidebarred, allgames.com
oh, yep.
has the headline, Google has successfully eliminated the game console. They've had to do an update. A lot of people seem to have a problem with the headline.
Really?
And then he's got in highlighted text, they eliminated the need to own a game console to play console games.
I mean, when you say console games, do you mean all console games? Because as far as I'm aware, Stadia is missing quite a few of all the console games.
What is Stadia's library at the moment?
There's like, what, 20 games?
And yeah, so, you know, Series X isn't even coming because Stadia has basically...
Yeah, they decided to
Stadia's
cancel
gone,
it.
We've showed up, guys. Time to just get out of it. new releases and deals are appearing every few weeks. And they have a picture of Metro 2033 Redux, Last Light Redux,
good game,
and Elder Scrolls Online.
All new
not releases. But anyway, that's now that we don't need to worry about consoles, what is this new console?
Okay, also, just the Stadia has about 40 to 50 games total.
That's like 10 times more than I thought.
I mean, they're all re-releases of old stuff, but yeah. Okay, so
I'm surprised.
Why do I even need an Xbox?
It's true. Well, I mean,
that's the thing.
If you're gonna get a Scottish Xbox, what are you? I mean,
the thing is at the moment, like, it's all rumors.
Of course,
so,
I mean, again, like, we're all just sort of
we have. Sorry, you go.
I would say, yeah, we're just kind of spitballing here, but if the idea is that it's an xCloud server thing, and you kind of just, you know, it's like a little set-top box, and that's all it is, and it comes with a controller. I mean, is that appealing to you guys?
It's appealing to me in the sense of, like, when I'm traveling, like taking it to Swan Hill when I'm actually down at my parents, not having to lug hardware is probably the best thing I can think of using it for.
That's a good point.
It would be appealing to me if it wasn't xCloud. Like, if it wasn't just xCloud. If it was, quote unquote, if it was my library streaming.
Yeah.
Yes, this would definitely appeal to me. As it stands, I need my console to do the library streaming, so unless it can do that, I'm getting a console. If this can do what the Series X is doing for my entire library, then I definitely would prefer this, because my internet can manage, and it's smaller. Again, I can take it places.
And how often do you actually play offline at all at this point?
Well, I game share, so basically never.
Yeah, exactly right.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm wondering again. Is this going to be maybe this is the low price point stuff that they've been talking about? Like, maybe is this the couple $100 one that they throw in there to say, hey, you've got your small, medium, and large option here, depending on what you want to pay for. Most people go for the medium option.
I'm wondering more as time goes, like, because they're both holding their hands so close to the chest about the price points.
Yeah.
Whether it's more so a case of the price points are set at this stage, but it's where they want to put their marketing.
Yeah, I would say. I mean, at this point, they have to know what it's going to cost, right? Or at least they have to have something in place and then a backup in case Sony's cheaper.
But
right.
say the main one goes for $600 US.
Sure.
And then PS5 goes, all right, $500 US. And they've got the second one in the bag ready to go at a cheaper price point, and then throw all the marketing in that, or the majority of the marketing in that to have that argument.
I would agree, but I think the problem is that they've already shot themselves in the foot at that stage by pushing the Series X as hard as they have so far. You know, like, they've already shown it off. They're already talking about how powerful it is, what kind of games are going to run on it. Like, if they're not going to lead with the Series X, then they've just kind of I think they're going to have to run with the Series X at this point. I don't think they have a choice. I mean, like, I might be wrong, and they might just say, actually, you know what? Screw it. The lower price point is more important than all the marketing messaging we've done so far. But I doubt it.
At the end of the day, though, normal consumers.
It'd be weird if they if that's what they fell back on.
It'd be weird, but I don't think it would be unexpected.
Sure, I can definitely see the merit, and I'm sure they will definitely have some marketing dollars for the lower price point stuff to go out to more general consumers. But you have to remember that, like, Microsoft has been the narrative stuff that Microsoft has been pushing is, look at this cool box, look at our smart delivery system, and the most powerful console on the market is their big thing. Like with the Series X or with the One X, like, that's their big thing. You know, at E3 they're wearing shirts that say, you know, the Xbox or Microsoft has the most powerful console ever made.
We team Chunky Boy, not Team Tall Boy.
Yeah, exactly. Mini fridge, not router.
Did you see that video where the guy basically put one together?
Yes.
Like the random. It's really not that big.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's like
it's big, but it's not that big.
Yeah, I mean, the PlayStation looks
not even
huge.
like it's big. honestly not not significantly. Like we've seen comparative pictures. It's not significantly bigger than the One X.
No, not at all. But I think it's just
in terms of space it takes.
Well, I mean, the One X is actually quite small, to be fair. I mean, if you compare it to, say, like, the original Xbox One when it came out, like, that's probably a more fair comparison. Like, that thing was huge. And, like, it made sense to make it huge because they were super worried about...
cooling.
Yeah, cooling, exactly. One day I'll do
the old
Red Ring of
VCR,
Death
hey?
for Song of the Week. Yeah, basically a giant VCR. Again, the Series X, you can lay it down. They've just showed, I believe, they just showed it standing, I think.
Yeah.
But, yeah,
I mean,
I want to hold one and see what it looks
still
like.
Still going to come out that one end, regardless of whether
Yeah,
it's up or down.
exactly. So, yeah, but I mean, like, I wonder what sort of form, like, in terms of form factor with, say, the Series S, like, how different is it going to look? Like, are they going to go for, like, hey, it's just like a shorter version of the series? Like, is it going to be like like Russian nesting dolls for the three consoles?
Well, the rumors
okay.
that were going around at the moment was that it looked like the Xbox One S.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I could see that.
It's not as powerful
Yeah.
as the Series X, but can you make it significantly smaller, even if it's... Because it's, if they take out RAM, the RAM's not taking
that's
up...
not the big
The
bit,
RAM's
yeah.
not making half the space.
Well...
The video card's not going to be that much smaller.
I mean, I guess it depends on the size of the GPU, right? Because that's the bit where they're going to cut back on it, right? Is that like, because in terms of the CPU will be identical because there's no reason to change it. It'll be the GPU that actually that they'll take out to save cost for the lower end version,
and maybe fan depth.
Sure, yeah.
If it doesn't need to be as cool, or however they're doing it, like that's the only other place they could save some space.
I mean, yeah. Would it make sense to use the same mold and just put in a slightly lower end component?
I feel like it would.
Yeah, I would agree. But I think my only worry is the imagery and the marketing and separating the two products and distinguishing between them is going to be difficult for the average consumer.
Unless you do a black and a white.
Yeah.
But then that annoys people because some people really enjoy a white Xbox, and if they can't get a Series X in white, that'll annoy them for whatever reason. At least initially, that differentiation is what's going to be important.
And yeah, we talked about it. I think it was last week, just around like how do you actually, what kind of tack do you take to push that? How do you like, especially with the naming conventions being the way they are. I mean, this comes out as the Xbox Edinburgh. What is it actually going to be called? Is it just going to be called like the Xbox X Cloud, or is it
Xbox XX
Cloud
England
box.
UK?
If you make the Series S really unappealing, does that make more people buy the Series X?
Almost certainly.
So it's got the where it's not actually light, but it's just the way that the top of the Series X is made that makes it look like there's a green LED glow.
Yeah.
If you make the Series S then orange with that same bit, so it's an Oompa Loompa, because if it's shorter,
right?
If it's significantly shorter.
You're forgetting the other part. It's probably not going to have a disk drive.
No, true. Actually, it probably won't.
But the disk drive is not going up.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
It's not taking much up space. It's down that bottom left when it's standing up. I mean, like, so it's not like it's.
Yeah, is this Edinburgh thing going to be the basically the popcorn trick? So I don't know if you guys are aware of the trick. So you walk into a movie theater and you say, okay,
no, I don't.
okay. So a movie theater is a place where they used to show movies. Basically, you all pack into a big room and sit there and watch a movie on a big screen.
Okay.
But then COVID happened and they just closed. They all died. The movie theater is not necessarily the people. So the trick they used to do was you'd walk in there and you go, okay, it's a small popcorn for $4 or a large for $8. And most people are going to go, small's fine. Like I'll just go for the small. Like it's cheaper. I don't really need a large popcorn. Like the size difference is quite a bit, and like realistically, I'll be fine. And if I really want another one, I'll just come and buy another one, and I'll have two for the same price as a large. So what you do then is you change it. You say, okay, here's a small for $4, a medium for $7, and a large for $8. So the only thing you've done is add the medium in there. And most people gravitate towards the middle option, because they don't want to seem like they're cheap and you know, going to miss out on value by going for the low option, but they go for the medium option and say, okay, well, you know, I want some of the benefits, but I don't have to go high end. But
it's only
a dollar extra, right? And suddenly you're thinking, actually, you know what? I might as well get the large. Like, I don't want to lose money, right? Like, I might as well go up to the large if I'm going to get a medium anyway. Like, is this Xbox strategy of having 3 consoles basically just an elongated version of that, of having a really cheap version?
I'm just glad that your popcorn story didn't tie to the last story.
I'm just realizing that's exactly what I do.
Yeah.
And I'm a damn sheeple.
Absolutely.
I'm a sheeple.
Yeah.
Every time I go,
yeah.
Yeah, I definitely want a jumbo.
Yeah.
Because
I'd
be losing money if I don't get the jumbo.
This is the problem. By the time I order something for takeout, I'm just like, oh, I bought a whole family for myself.
Look,
this is my next 2 lunches.
It is a classic upsell strategy that works so often. It was like one of the easiest things I did when I was in sales was that, like, I had a cell phone. We always said, because we used to sell phones, it was the phone that I bought one of my own because I love them so much and I could talk about them all day. And I was like, okay, this is the phone you get. This is how much it's going to cost you. This, and this. And, you know, for like $10 extra on your bill, we'll throw in a free tablet. And it was just like no one needed the tablet. Literally no one
used the tablet after they got it.
Literally, yeah, exactly. Literally no one I sold that tablet to needed that tablet. But it cost them literally nothing to get, and their bill went up by $10 a month. And it was like, I just threw it in there because it was like, well, like, and even if they said no, you still get them on something more, you know, that's the thing is that most of the people who buy the medium, even if they resist the large, were going to buy the small anyway. So you've already upsold them without them even realizing it. And so I'm wondering if this is the thing that they're trying to do. Is this just the elongated version of that, where they say, hey, here's the real cheap version for people who are real misers, but like you don't want that. Like you're missing out on so many features, right? Here's the middle version that's pretty good and like it'll do you just fine. But for like extra $100, we'll just chuck you up to the large version, and we'll like throw in a game for you as well. Like why not? And suddenly everyone who was like, oh, you know, the PlayStation's like a little bit cheaper. So I was going to get one of those, but I saw this like Series S, and it was like $100 less. But like I was like, but then he just sold me on, you know, up-resing it and getting Halo Infinite, which I could have got on Game Pass for free, but I didn't think about that when I bought it. I mean, again, I'm just talking about like if I was an evil maniacal, you know, Microsoft business owner, this is exactly how I would run it. Whether they do that or whether this is just like you know, just some sort of code name for something that's not even going to be released, or if it's just a code name for a service, I honestly have no idea. But there's a lot of potential there. So,
I still can't get over always buying a jumbo combo because I don't want to lose money. I've listened to you, and every time you talk, I just go back to, you needed that jumbo, didn't you, big boy? And I just.
And this is the thing, I'm the exact same. I won't finish at the cinema. I'll get home and I'm like, half a tub of popcorn.
I'll finish at the cinema. I'm a monster.
No, I won't. I'll have like probably 1/3 left or something, and then the next day it's just like, all right, popcorn's still good.
And I need to go back and get a second drink because a drink is never sufficient.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. Look, it could be. If this exists, it could very well, like in the sense that is a much weaker version, whatever. That would be a sound marketing strategy. I mean, it definitely works. And when you are talking in the range, presumably the Series X is $499 US. When you're talking about that kind of money, $100 extra is really not that much.
Yeah, especially if they throw in something to sweeten the deal that costs them nothing.
Yeah,
you know, you put in 12 months of Game Pass, or you give away a first party game, or you give away a Forza game or whatever, just like on a code, of course, and they're all on the consoles now instead of in code, so they can't just be resold.
Yeah, I don't know where my my Game Pass trial for my Cyberpunk console went, because you can say no,
right?
So when it pops up, you can say no, not no, but like I'll deal with this later. So I don't know whether... I have no idea how to get back to that option. I said yes on Cyberpunk because I'm like, well, I don't want to hit I don't know and lose it, because so I said yes for Cyberpunk, and we'll see how. Like, not that I was going to use the 14-day Game Pass Ultimate Trial that you have to be a new person to use, but like I don't know how to get back there.
Yeah, should look into it and report back because I'm interested now because that does seem like an interesting new development.
Yeah, I will.
So you can't be buying Black Flag for 10 cents off dodgy third parties.
No, that's definitely... Well, you can because someone will get a review code and sell it to you for cheaper.
Yeah.
We don't do that, but I've definitely done it. I bought it, I mean. Bought people's review codes.
You heard it there first.
Moving along.
All right. So
are we moving along? Are we done with this?
I don't know. Is there anything else you guys want to add to that? I mean, I've just, as usual, dominated the conversation with my usual insane ramblings.
Like I said,
just get the jumbo.
I'm just glad it was that
Get the
popcorn
jumbo
talk, not the
sheeple.
other one.
All right. So related to this, we've also got apparently a story that the Series X games, and I'm assuming PS5 as well, may see a price increase to $70 US, and that becomes the new standard for AAA games.
Mm-hmm. This was hilarious. I loved because this was all kicked off from NBA 2K21, who said $60 on the Xbox One, PS4, $70 on the Series X version, and I want to find the original story, but because essentially they had a statement that was saying, we are putting the price to $70 because we believe the value that you get from this game is higher than you get in the Xbox One X or Xbox One PS4 line. You know, you're getting more value because the consoles are better, so we can do more things. Therefore, we value our game higher, and it will cost more. Yeah.
So, I mean, I think they misunderstand is that the value is not how much more value you get from the consumer by fleecing them. I think what value means to consumers usually is what they get out of the game. I think there's some sort of misunderstanding there.
Yeah. So I'll quickly see if I can find their exact statement.
I think it was GameIndustry.biz, I think was the...
Yeah. That's all right. We can still talk about stuff. And other developers kind of following suit, I guess.
I mean, it probably makes some sort of sense, to be fair. I mean, like NBA 2K21 is like the worst example possible because it'll be filled with microtransactions. It'll be threadbare as hell, and it'll just be massively exploitative. And for them to even come out and say, "Oh, it has greater value than the previous release," it's like, well, I mean, that's not saying much. Like that's setting the bar as low as anyone could ever limbo.
The only thing this game has coming for it is the cover. Like, I love the cover.
The cover does look pretty good.
I mean, who have they got in the cover? They got the New Orleans Pelicans guy.
I'm talking about the special edition one for Kobe Bryant.
The special edition with Kobe. The reason they put that on the really expensive edition was because it would sell more for Kobe.
Yeah.
Like, people are going to get the... If they'd put that on the standard... They were never going to put that on the standard edition because... why would you want to sell more of your $60 one instead of your $100 one?
Yeah.
I was going to say, there was getting slightly off topic here, but there was a mock-up too of him hugging his daughter on the basketball court as a cover that looked amazing as well. And I really wish they had gone for it because I'm pretty sure she wanted to be a basketball player when she was older.
Yeah, but they never would. Like, it's so much about, like...
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's business, right? What are you going to do?
Yeah.
Okay. So here's the full quote. We believe our suggested retail price for NBA 2K21 on next-generation platforms fairly represents the value of what's being offered, power, speed, and technology that is only possible on new hardware. While we are confident that NBA 2K21 will be a monumental leap forward for the franchise and a standout visual showcase on next-generation consoles, we recognize that it's our responsibility to prove this value to our fans and NBA 2K players.
That's why you pay more for the hardware,
by
not
charging
the software,
you before
though.
we've proved it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Pay me now.
Yeah. And a lot of people are essentially saying, well, games haven't gone up in forever, so a $10 rise is fine and it's okay. And a lot of that is either people who don't buy the season pass or any microtransactions or the $40 in DLC that essentially is your $60 is the starting price to get into the game.
Yeah,
it is not the full game.
Games have been subsidized by microtransactions and other pieces of content that have been essentially a lot of cases stripped out of them for money. The last 2 generations, like saying the price of video games hasn't gone up is just flagrantly false.
Yeah,
it's just they've hidden the cost for the consumer.
Exactly. It's all convenience fees.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's
convenient.
There was actually
time saving.
Going back to when I used to sell phones. If someone was being a convenience, we could charge them a convenience fee. I've just chucks $3 on their bill. I did it all the time.
Ticketmaster.
Yeah,
just settle down.
Look, working in America brought out the absolute worst of me. Okay, I became a rampant capitalist. It was brutal. I was really good at it though. It was disgusting.
So back on topic of the price rise. I'm not against a price rise.
No, neither.
If it meant some of the other stuff was reduced.
Sure.
I would not have an issue paying the equivalent of $80 US if a hell of a lot of the microtransactions and the DLC that was, do title updates.
Yeah.
We're paying more. You could give us...
Keep the servers open longer than a year.
The first DLC expansion is free.
Yeah,
or whatever.
Exactly. I totally agree. But the thing is, we know that they're going to clip the ticket on both ends, as they always do. Mm-hmm. The microtransactions are only going to get worse, and they're just going to rake in more money.
Yeah, and I don't think we will see too many new. Because when does 2K21 come out? It'll be this year, yeah.
Yeah, it'll be September probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is going to be the testing. This is the testing the waters game.
Yeah.
If the game industry gets away with, I say gets away with they're robbing a bank, but they're robbing our wallets. If this is by the general public considered okay, everyone will do it.
Of course. You
will not see a AAA game go, well, we're not going to do that because $60 is our price. They're going to go, well, you're paying $70 for everyone else's game. Why can't you pay $70 for our game?
Yeah, and the answer to that is I'm just not going to pay $70 for any game, no matter what. So,
yeah.
Yep.
Because the rest of it is still there.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, there are... CD Projekt Red is well known for having really amazing expansions, and I feel those are a little different because they're $20 or whatever, but they're essentially brand new games. They're like miniature games, but just using the engine of the game they already released.
Yeah, and the games aren't chock full of other monetization stuff to pad out game length or incentivize spending or custom skins or stuff like that. Like in terms of talking about The Witcher 3, which I'm assuming you're referring to.
Yeah,
it had a bunch of they did a huge amount of free content for that game. Mm-hmm. They released stuff. Yeah. They released stuff weeks and weeks and weeks, and then they came up with 2 really, really good expansions.
If Far Cry New Dawn was $20, $30 as an add-on for Far Cry 5 because it's using all those assets, that would have been that would have been way more acceptable than releasing it as a full game.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
I was going to say, Dying Light's a good example as well with the following DLC, just how much they put into that. And even 5 years on, Techland's still got so much community engagement around that game. Understandably, they've got Dying Light 2 coming out, but...
Well...
that's... Okay, that's
Technically, yes.
Technically, yes. But saying that the amount of I guess, updates and that they've put into that game over the years, it's still going.
Yeah, how often do you guys buy AAA games at launch?
I want to say Dying Light was the last one I bought at launch, which would have been late 2015 off the top of my head.
Kingdom Hearts 3, but it's essentially only products that I'm really, really willing to support. Like,
Sure.
Like, there was... Kingdom Hearts 3 could have come out at $200 and I would have paid that to support it because...
I mean, you bought it twice, so yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, nearly three times.
Three times.
You did buy it?
I got the Asia stack.
I'm trying to think of the last... Dying Light would be the last time... Sorry, yeah, I forgot about Kingdom Hearts 3. Dying Light would have been the first time that I took a chance on a series just going off the...
Shion didn't forget.
Oh, boy.
Jeez. I'm trying to think... Like, what about you guys? What was the last time you bought a AAA game just based purely off trailers and that?
Oh, I think it would have been exactly 13 years ago on the 7th of the 7th of the 7th when I started my Xbox journey and I bought a copy of Gears of War and earned my first achievement.
Off a trailer.
Like, just off, like, you know, that early media. Like, not even...
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
No chance of playing it before. No previous title entries.
In terms of, like a full AAA title?
Yeah.
Never. No, actually, I lie. Probably the original Mass Effect.
Okay.
Basically on the strength of KOTOR. Like, I was a huge fan of Mass Effect, and I think I bought it for, like, I was with, like, birthday money. Like, again, that was a 2007 release as well, so it's been a long time. Like, I don't buy anything full price at retail for almost any reason. Like, I'll either rent it, or I'll buy it digitally when it's on sale, or I'll borrow it off someone. Like there's some, like, I have so many games, like, it just does not make any sense. And like we were talking about, there is no reason to buy a game at launch, unless you want to be part of the quote unquote discourse about it. Like, if you aren't on a podcast where you talk about new games every week, and, like, you know, we go, but we're not as involved from that sort of stuff. We talk about older stuff. But, like, if we were talking about the newest releases, then we'd have a good reason to. But otherwise, like, there's no reason not to wait. Like, the thing, like,
games like Destiny.
2 weeks.
And that,
2 weeks, they drop $20.
Yeah. And Witcher 3, like, is a great deal. But, like, if you buy it now, you might as well buy the complete edition for cheaper than the game was when it first came out, and you get everything. Like, if you're patient, you can wait a year or two. Like, you'll get that game half price easy. Like, there's just no reason. Like, unless you're into you know, the discourse, or if you're into big multiplayer stuff, like Modern Warfare was, you know, hugely popular, as it always is. Like, again, like, picking that up a year later, like, you'll probably still be fine, but you won't be as into it as you were when it first came out. But
it's saying that your friends might have already passed on by that stage.
Exactly, yeah. Mainly from salt-induced comas. I don't know. Like, I was saying that, you know, if games are $70, I'm not going to buy them, but I wasn't buying them at $60. So, like, I can't actually think of a single Xbox One game that I bought at retail at full price. It would have been only stuff in the 360 when I was younger.
I mean, back before I discovered the US marketplace and stuff, I know I bought Primal at close to full price, but again, I wasn't getting as many games as I am now. Like, that was, I got that for a week. I think I got the new Need for the Need for Speed that was just called Need for Speed, and now I hate it.
Yep.
I think I got that launch day because I liked Need for Speed. Like, I liked their racing games and hadn't played one in a while. But rarely. Going to your trailer question, Cameron, the only one I can remember seeing a trailer, having no other sort of first-hand anything, no reviews, no game, never playing it, I want to say it was Kingdom Hearts 1. Like, that's how far back it goes. I saw the trailer for that and went, wow, that looks really cool.
Yep.
I want that.
I actually
Get me that.
100% on that. I did exactly the same thing.
Except you could have probably bought it yourself and didn't have to ask your mum.
I mean, no, I was. I mean, what was that? 2003.
2003.
Yeah.
17 years ago.
Would have been 10 Gs.
Gosh, yeah, I would have been. Yeah, something like that. Ugh, that's depressing.
Yeah.
I remember being 13 and waiting, like, how many years for Final Fantasy Versus 13 to come out?
And then it never came out. It's a
From
shame.
year 8, just like,
it's a shame.
next
It's a shame
year.
that project never made a fruition. They never did anything with it.
Yeah. It's definitely not a Fabula Nova Crystallis game.
God.
Can't get a good series completion there because it's not a Fabula Nova Crystallis game.
I remembered the first game I got on Xbox One, buying it for full retail, and that was Dead Rising 3, and I still haven't finished that completely.
Come on, it's not that bad.
The DLC achievements.
Yeah, the DLCs are not. Yeah, DLCs not great.
I've got the base game. The DLCs are horrible.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't count unless you have the DLC. So, but that's fine.
Yeah.
But okay, is just to put the final word on this, is this going to change your guys' behavior at all, realistically?
I might wait longer. I might just I'll probably be waiting for these games to hit the same price point I'm waiting now. It will just take longer because they're starting higher.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I think there's
a 50% sale is now going to be $5 too much. Or what, Yeah,
so you're looking for a 60 or 70% sale. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, that's all it's going to change.
Hey, Cameron, what about you?
Same thing, but with me going in front of EB and getting $5 games.
Yeah, that's
like I have been doing the last few weeks.
Well, let's see if EB is going to be around much longer for this generation. But yeah, and then just as a follow on from that, do you think that this will change the behavior of other people other than us crazy people who are patient and sit there and wait for the game to go on sale and refuse to spend more than $20 on anything?
I mean,
go Cameron.
What do you think that normal people would buy in a year? Probably like 3 to 4.
Titles. Let's say
sports title, COD, maybe one other.
Let's be charitable and say they buy a game every 2 months, so 6 games the entire year.
Okay. Yeah. I honestly don't think it would make that much of a difference to them.
Yeah.
It's like, alright, $10 new COD, but they've chucked in exclusive skin or something. Yeah, fine, that's justifiable to them.
The same thing that they would have chucked in at $60, but...
Yeah, exactly.
No, because it's only $10 at the time they're buying. When they get to the end of the year and go, man, I could have got a whole nother game with this, maybe, but...
Yeah.
Even then, they've sold it on Facebook Marketplace for $20, so...
Yeah, true.
They only lost $50. Yeah, it won't change how they buy it, and it won't change how games are monetized.
Yeah, so really,
and that's the saddest part.
Business as usual. They're just making more money.
Yep. Okay, maybe they only have to fire 500 people at the end of the year.
Oh, instead of 800.
Instead of
Blizzard?
8?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Dear.
Maybe that's a nice change.
No, I'm pretty sure they're going to fire all 800 of them again. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that also is not going to change.
Bobby Kotick's just going to get another 10 million bonus. That's all.
They've been working from home because COVID's still a thing, and that was unacceptable.
Exactly. Yeah, we haven't seen you in the office at all for 6 months, so we're going to have to let you go.
You told me to work from home. I haven't seen you in the office.
Yeah, no, it's like, yeah, if you're not in the office, how do we know you're working?
I'm sorry, but that memo that was communicated only by this one voice call that we had 6 months ago, that no longer exists.
Yeah, so
sorry.
unfortunately, the person who sent out that memo has also been let go, so we have no way to verify. Actually, this conversation is getting a little too real to my current real-life predicament, so let's move on.
Okay, so I figure I'll go first because I've been doing the most. No, I've been doing very little because of my new job. Speaking of, new job story that is definitely okay to tell. So, it's okay to talk about. It's not confidential or anything. Essentially, the logins that we use for, our internal, patient lookup system and stuff, for the most part, everyone is given a bit of their last name and then their first name. Mm-hmm. So, I have a friend who's Vietnamese who is kind of like my line manager, I guess. Her last name's Tran, and her first name, for whatever, normally starts with Q, but for whatever reason in this place, because her name sounds like it starts with W, they use W, so her login is Traw, T-R-A-W.
Right. Quick question, is she a doctor?
No, she's a scientist.
Dr. Traw?
Damn it!
That would be good.
No,
not Dr.
Tran. Dr. Tran.
No. But they were getting my login set up, and what they did was they made me Kirch, K-A-R-C-H. I'm like, okay, that's weird that it's not like yours. Why? And my friend said, well, they were going to make it Chink, but then they thought that'd be racially insensitive. Because it was one of those things they didn't think about. Then they wrote it down and went, "Yeah, no, we can't do that."
Yeah, that's
like,
you get.
Damn it!
It'd be amazing to get on your name badge.
But I was going to say, it'll be one of those things though that you will never, like, you personally will never care about. But there'll be one person in there that's just like
got offended for me.
Yeah,
gets offended for you, makes it a whole deal, drags it for HR.
Chink would have been great. It would have been so easy to remember.
I was going to say,
and
absolutely.
That could have been my nickname. I've never been Chink at a workplace before. But yeah.
God, I'm spoiled for choices clips of the week this week.
Yeah, no, that would yeah. So I got Kirch, and that does okay. Anyway, moving on. I was at my girlfriend's place this weekend, so her internet is terrible, worse than mine even, and also I used her Xbox One, the original Xbox One, the VCR. So, I didn't play a lot of games because there was a lot of loading, but I did play Summer with the Shiba Inu. Got that done, nice, easy visual novel by Radalaika. Got it done in like 10 minutes. I did initially say to her, you can play if you want. You know what a visual novel is. You can play until you do a playthrough until you get bored, and then I'll show you how I get achievements in games and why you'll never love me. And then after 2 minutes, she's like, "I'm done looking at the dog pictures. You can play now." And then looked at the dog pictures really, really fast. 6 times. And she's like, "Wait, you have to do this 4 more times?" I'm like, "Yeah, there's 6 endings. I have to do it 4 more times." She's like, "Oh my god."
Yeah, I mean, mate, it wouldn't be the first time that someone spent 2 minutes to decide they didn't love you, but
Okay, Dad. But what I did get to do, because I gifted it to her and then didn't buy it for myself, is I got to play Maneater. I only did about 90 minutes.
It's not a nice way to talk about your girlfriend, mate. Walked around to that one.
Yeah. Okay. I only got about 90 minutes in, so I defeated the first boss, I guess, and got like the first evolutionary power up that isn't just like normal. So I have electric teeth, and then I didn't get to use it because then we went out. But the game itself is pretty good. Like, you get to be a shark, it's pretty cool. The controls are kind of intuitive. You move forward and look up to go up, look down to go down, or you can jump and whatever else. Where I have a problem with the game is the combat. So you soft lock onto a target as you're swimming around them, and if you hit right trigger to attack, you would do a lunge at them, a lunging bite, and if you're close enough, you'll bite them. And that's fine for everything except things that are hostile to you and move around you and actively attack you, because you click on the right stick to soft lock onto them and look at them, and then you attack or whatever else. But then if you move, like, there's no proper lock on, at least not that I've discovered. As far as I'm aware, there is no proper lock on where you just locked onto the target and your camera rotates with you staring at that target. So it ends up just being you having to mash the clicking in the right stick and right trigger as you're sort of moving left stick to swim around and trying to hit right bumper as well to dodge the attacks of whatever the aggressive thing is, whether it's an alligator or a boat with people on it or whatever. And that bit is not fun because it is not an easy set of controls to do, especially for the 10 hours of the game. How they'd have a swimming game without a proper lock-on is beyond me. Like, I just don't get that. I feel like it's one of those things where only the developers did quality assurance, and so they had played like this for years, and it was intuitive to them, and had never given it to another person to try and go, well, this is terrible, why can't I lock on?
Yeah, I mean, apparently I was just looking it up now. Apparently there are a lot of people complaining about the lack of lock-on, so you're not the only one. There's definitely some issues.
Next title update.
Yeah, wouldn't surprise me if they added one in.
It is the clearest functionality lacking in the game. That, like, everything else is fine. Like, it's not a, it's a $40 US game or $40 Australian, whatever. So it's in that B grade tier. and it's good at that. Like, it's good as a B grade game, except for that one thing. Everything else is fine. Like, the game is fun, except for that. But I mean, I'll go back to it at some point. Finding the collectibles is fun and relatively easy. Everything else works except for that. And I think it would be a really good game if that got fixed. But until then, it's just an okay game. The other game that we've been playing the last 2 days that I convinced Cameron and Brad to buy. I don't know if Aftos bought it because I said to buy it or if he already had it.
I convinced him after. I'm pretty sure.
So I convinced Aftos to buy it.
By the transitive property, yes.
Yep. And convinced Matt to break his no buying things, and he bought it.
Yeah, so yeah, I did buy
Called
it.
out.
I haven't played.
I don't know.
I haven't played it yet, but I own it.
I didn't even intend to do that because apparently I already bought it for him. Hey, Brad.
Yeah, Brad really put the peer pressure on pretty hard on that one. Thanks, Brad.
Yeah. What do you mean, Matt? Don't you already own it? Kirby bought it for you. I'm like, Brad, what? What? Anyway, Risk of Rain 2. You also get Risk of Rain 1 in the bundle, but I haven't touched that much with anyone. I've just been playing Risk of Rain 2. Third-person roguelite shooter. Bunch of different characters. Really fun, isn't it, Cameron?
Very addictive.
Very addictive. The runs are not super short. So, I mean, they're short if you're terrible, but I would say a normal run is probably 45 minutes on average. Unless something goes horribly wrong early, we're probably making it about 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Hour maybe.
I'm trying to think without the artifacts. It's probably...
Okay, the first night it was about an hour, but we were slow.
Yeah. We're taking our time.
I reckon knowing what we're doing now, I reckon an average run about 10 levels in 45 minutes. Maybe a bit. Yeah, or not 10 levels, 10
I'm trying
stages.
to think my longest run would be probably on the 2-hour mark. But most of them around, an hour.
Yeah, there is an achievement to getting 20 stages in one run. That'll probably be a 2 to 3 hour run. If you're not rushing. It depends on how your setup is.
And
but
extremely luck based.
Mm-hmm. It is very fun. We're playing, Old Mate Clown, Brad, Aftos, Cameron, and myself are playing, and we've sort of been somewhat paying attention to the achievements and just trying to progress far. There's one difficult achievement that I think would probably be easier solo, because that's the killing a boss in Monsoon, because the boss's health goes up in 4 players, and the power-ups, because there's only a certain amount of power-ups, they're split between everyone, unless you just pick one person to be the strongest. But I don't know if that would still unlock for everyone. I reckon that'd be easier in single player, because I had a boss that I got down to like 2,000 health, down from 11 before a mob one-shot me.
Well, I was going to say, basically with the build I've been going, putting 7 of those glasses that do your crit increase.
Yeah.
Basically, with 7 of them, it's very close to, I want to say like 80-90% of always doing double damage.
Yeah.
So I've been doing that, putting everything else under the attack speed, and then if I'm getting uncommon, which is the green items, missile launchers. And that's been wiping out heaps for me.
Yeah. Well, with that elite run, you guillotine.
Yeah. And what's that give, like 20%?
20%, anything under 20% health instantly dies.
Wow.
Yeah.
But
chance to die.
No, not a 20% chance to instantly kill. Anything you hit under 20% health, any elite you hit under 20% health instantly dies.
How it works is, as soon as you get to under 20% health, you have a chance to. And then with increase of them, it's that hyperbolic chance. So it's like...
I don't think so, because everything died after a certain point, all the elites.
I'm sure that was what the...
Now we're going to...
Wiki
This
said.
is the exciting part of the podcast where we look up this item and no one...
Nobody cares about it. What's it called again?
Guillotine. Instantly kill elite monsters below 20% health. Done. Kirby is right once again.
You reading the whole bit?
Instantly kill elite monsters below 20% health.
Although the health threshold is increased by 20% each stack, this is not linear, and additional guillotines will provide a slightly smaller amount.
Yeah, that's if you're stacking them. But having one instantly kills elite monsters below 20% health. Not a 20% chance to kill them instantly.
This means that if an elite monster has 100 health and takes 80 damage while the player has this item, it will not die until it takes another instance of damage from the same player.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So anything under 20% health instantly gets killed, except for bosses. I don't know about bosses, actually.
No, bosses count.
Bosses might count.
I'm pretty sure they count, because that's what the guided TS says.
Anyway, not the point, because this is... I've seen Matt falling asleep already, and this is real. And it's incredibly fun. You start off with a terrible, awful character that Aftos and Cameron love for whatever reason.
No.
Awful character.
No.
Once you unlock the Huntress, auto lock on attacking.
This is a group
fantastic
debate
character.
here. Where
a bit of a glass cannon, but only an issue if you're a terrible gamer.
Oh, well then.
You're at ranked 3-1 on this.
Brad likes it.
Did he?
Yes.
But it's Brad. You want to have Brad on your
actually,
side?
you know what? No, I'm with Cameron now, yeah, actually.
I carried you guys when I had it. Don't even.
Oh. And then I'll wait till I get to my turn, so I can complain about Brad as well.
Yeah. Okay. No. Everything is a really fun game. I just want to say one thing. So we were trying this killing a boss on Monsoon difficulty, right? And so it's the hardest difficulty, and we have an artifact.
Moving along.
All monsters to be elite, which is like a harder version, and you have to kill a boss on the hardest difficulty that is an elite boss. So this guaranteed it was an elite boss, right? So we're not definitely going to kill it, but we're definitely going to have a go. As we're playing, there are shrines. There's some shrines that you take damage and it will give you gold. There's some shrines that you pay gold and you might get an item. There's shrines of combat that summon a bunch of enemies that you attack, and it's just extra enemies, so you get some more gold out of it. And then there's these things called Shrine of the Mountain. And what that does is essentially, when you use that, it means the boss will be harder. It will summon multiple versions. So we're about to get started on the boss, and we see in the bottom left corner, I don't know where it pops up, but it pops up. I think it's top left, actually. Top left. Oh, shut up.
Middle left.
No, shut up. Top left pops up. Shadowless Edge has used the Shrine of the Mountain. Shadowless Edge has died. Not that he'd summoned the boss, that he used that and went, oh, I've made this more difficult. Just going to kill myself. Just going to get myself killed.
I said reset the run. Mind you, we were 1 minute into this run, if that. And I accidentally hit it, thinking it was another shrine, because I didn't look at it. I hit it from the back, I didn't hit it from the front.
It looks completely different to the normal shrines.
Okay.
It looks completely different.
Shut up for 2 seconds.
And has a little different
coloured icon.
icon.
Shut up for 2 seconds. It has an icon at the front that you can't see from the back. So I went, oh, here's a shrine.
And looks
didn't
completely
look at the
different.
Text, hit it, and then went, okay, I screwed up. I'm going to kill myself. Everybody else kill yourself and we'll reset.
This is what he did. He used the shrine to make the harder boss, killed himself and said, we should reset this run, guys. After he died.
No discussion. No
killed himself
committee.
and said, we should reset this run. I'm like,
I'm pretty
no,
sure
we'll
Brad
give it
was
a go.
talking at that time, so it's impossible to get a word over Brad.
Yeah, that's probably what
anyway, Cameron ruins everything. Made it harder for everyone, and then offed himself.
Saying that, have you got stage 20 yet?
No, I was testing out stuff with the golem because I got 2 of the...
How good is the golem? I love the golem.
Yeah.
I got the golem and I got 2 of the beetles yesterday, and it was just wrecking.
I'm wondering whether... So does those gold items, do they get... You can choose them with the artifact of command, or are they set?
So the gold item for the golem, you mean?
Either. Well, that and the beetles are gold items as well.
The golem is its own separate category, I believe, because I only had the option to pick up the golem when I was running out
items, boss items.
Okay, sorry. When I'm saying this too, the artifact of command, it's a boss item.
Don't worry about that.
Yeah,
just go.
So, don't worry about the artifact of command.
Just explain. Did you could you select your item? Yes or no?
Yes, because when you kill that boss, when you kill a boss, it has a chance to drop the item corresponding with that boss. Where the golem is
a chance to. It dropped every time for me.
I think I'm not sure if it's just that gold orb. If in that section it's 100%, but I know with any other boss you have a chance to get that boss item.
Yeah.
But saying that, other gold items, I think there's 4.
There are 7 total.
Okay, sorry. Then I have 4 unlocked, which is where I picked the beetle because I had the choice there, but I didn't have the choice with the boss.
Yeah. So stacking makes it stronger.
Yeah. So you still only get one.
I've just looked into it. But you do have the choice.
Yeah.
Okay. That's all I cared about. Because once you've got one, maybe it's not necessarily worth getting it again.
As soon as you get one, all you really want to do, if you got enough built up in the first 10 runs, you just want to rush teleporters.
Rush teleporters and then run away.
Because
let him deal with the boss.
He does all the work for you. And the only reason I died last night was because I finished...
you stood still.
I finished the teleporter, activated the teleporter.
Anyway.
I
don't care anymore.
Died.
I got 1,660 game score, and I'm in Chewie's Rumble in the Jeblungle. That's his Royal Rumble event. I am entrant number 4, and this day's challenge is TA score, so I'm going to do 2 quick, easy game scores, and hopefully something like 2,000 TA is enough to keep me in. Fingers crossed. If it's not, I might be out day 1 of me being in. Matt, because I don't want to hear Cameron anymore.
Okay, so let's quickly go through it. I finished Time Spinner. Really, really good side-scrolling.
How long does that take?
You have to do 2 playthroughs.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the first play. It took me about 8 to 10.
Okay.
So first playthrough was about 9 hours or so. And I took my time, went through all the story. Actually, quite enjoyed it. It's very much like Symphony of the Night. Like it's almost exactly, but it's just a small condensed version of it. And then the second run through, you do it on the hardest difficulty, but you have you're buffed up, so you just rip through all the enemies in like 5 seconds. Highly recommend it. It's leaving Game Pass, so if you're going to do it quick. That's why I jumped on it. I also finished up Hotel Transylvania 3.
Ugh.
It's Pikmin. Like I said, it's Pikmin. The game is it's just like it's Pikmin.
I don't remember hearing you say that.
Yeah, well, you wouldn't because you didn't listen to the episode.
As me.
That's the joke.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So it's actually a surprisingly fun game. Like, it doesn't take very long. The controls are a little iffy, but once you get the upgrades to have like 20 units, like nothing can stop you for the most part as long as you control them okay. So you can just overwhelm your enemies in true sort of Pikmin Overlord fashion. Also played Don't Sink. It's been sitting in my backlog forever. I don't know why I never got around to it. Really quick and easy, like hour and a half maybe, if that. Maybe it's about an hour and a half game where you just have a pirate ship and you just sail around islands doing little side quests and stuff just to save up enough money to buy a giant ship, and then you just sail across the ocean. That's pretty much it. It's real simple. You can basically cheese the entire game by just boarding all the ships you fight and just beating them by mashing the B button because they didn't balance the boarding fighting combat.
Mm-hmm.
It's perfect. I also played Glass. I just finished up Glass Masquerade 2, so that's what I've been playing for the last couple of days. Yeah, like I really enjoyed the first game. The second one is just not quite as good. Having to play on the hardest difficulty is like not really. It takes a lot of the fun out of it. But it was at least relaxing. I mean, like I looked at a guide in the same way that you can look at the box of the puzzle and try to figure out what the puzzle should look like. And I was like, okay, well, this kind of looks like it should go there. And then I think my two biggest problems with the first and second game is you can only see certain pieces at a time. So you have to scroll through them. You can't see what the piece looks like until you pick it up. And also, you can't just throw, like a real puzzle, you can't just kind of throw the piece in an area where you think it might go and just sort of leave it there to see if it fits with anything else. I think that's like...
deal with it later.
Yeah, exactly. Be like, oh, it's probably in this area, but I'll come back to it when I have more things around it. And this is like, no, if you forget it, buddy, it just goes back in the pile. And because the piles are all just silhouettes, you don't even, if you don't remember what it looked like, you have to scroll through all of them to find it again. It's not a...
and the scrolling is slow.
It's really slow. Like, like UI-wise, it's a really weirdly designed game. It's also not that quick either. Like, it's... You probably look at it like half an hour per puzzle, maybe an hour and a half an hour, depending on how quick you are. The last one especially is a really long puzzle. And there's like 30 puzzles or something like that. So you're probably looking at like 12 to... It's a 12 to 15 hour completion. Ratio is really low because it's easy, but you just... I mean, like, it was relaxing at least. I just kind of, chill out and put some puzzles together while listening to podcasts. I also played through the Bradwell Conspiracy, which is made by the same people who did Surgeon Simulator, I think. It is a Portal-esque walking simulator with some puzzles. It obviously takes a lot of inspiration from it, where you have a thing that can digitize and then create matter, basically. Yeah, so you could build like planks and pipes and stuff. Like, it's a really interesting idea that isn't used at all well in the entire game. Like, it's all just like, oh, hey, build some planks to get across a gap. Like, there's like maybe like 3 or 4 like actual puzzles in the game where you got to build like pipes and stuff and actually use it for some interesting stuff. But I mean, it's a short game. You'll get it through in like 2 or 3 hours, maybe 4 if you're struggling on some of the stuff. The last puzzle is really finicky. Yeah, but like, again, it has that sort of... I really like the writing. The writing and the humor is actually quite good. Especially if you like British humor. They actually got Jonathan Ross to do some of the narration of the orientation guy who walks you through how to use the device. And he's actually pretty good.
Oh.
Yeah, so I mean, like...
I may have been playing on mute.
Yeah, it's actually, like, the voice acting is actually surprisingly good. You can tell, like, they made a narrative game first and then put some puzzle mechanics in it afterwards. But whatever, like, it was fine. It was pretty chill. The walkthrough is really, really good. Don't miss a book in a drawer like I did and have to run through the first 2 chapters again, trying to figure out if you glitched it. I was just dumb. I figured that out today, so I got that one. My main thing I've been playing is Anima Gate of Memories. So I was looking through my backlog because I needed something to help me recover from the ratio Mageddon that I've been dropping down to 1.78 and nearly below that. I'm nearly at 1.77 at this point. So Alison was like, hey, let's play something high ratio, and she just picked something in my backlog. I was like, oh, Anima. I was like, well, it's got a 3.3 ratio. It's pretty good. Game looks okay. Actually, surprisingly good. Like, made by 3 people. It's a relatively standard character action game, and the sort of Devil May Cry, Bayonetta sort of frame, although a bit less frenetic. You don't have to string as many combos together. It's more about dodge timing, and it has more of an emphasis on ranged combat. Yeah. You can also switch between more of a melee-focused character and the range character, although you can pretty much play the range character, and with enough magic regeneration, you can just beam spam your way through most of the bosses. Yeah, like, it from a narrative perspective, it basically steals Demon Souls whole cloth, where you end up in a nexus with 5 different areas you go into, and each area has a different theme and has an end boss that you have to beat before you head back to the nexus, buy some items, level up, and go and do some more stuff. You do have to play through it twice, and there's a little bit of save manipulation stuff you need to do for some of the endings. And it's not like super simple. There is a little bit of challenge, especially towards the end. But like, I mean, if I can get through it, anyone can. To be honest, I'm really not that great at these sort of character action stuff. Like, I never get triple S rank on anything. I just kind of stumble my way through it, but that seems to be good enough for the most part. So I'm just leveling up to level 20 and doing my New Game Plus playthrough. So you do have to play through it twice, but everything carries over. And yeah, like, I would recommend it, actually. And I will do later.
Folklore was the game that it reminded me of.
And there is actually an area of it called Folklore. That is one of the third level you go to is called Folklore. Yeah. Which, like, it very much wears its influences on its sleeve. And then the thing that I just started playing this morning is a Headliner Novi News. So this is I mean, I don't want to... It's technically a side-scroller, but you walk the same path. So essentially, you are a you're in a relatively dystopian future where you run the news, basically news/propaganda arm. You're the editor for a news organization that basically runs all the propaganda for the country, and you've been hired as the editor, and you have to decide what articles go out on the news each day. And so, in the same way, it's very similar to sort of Papers, Please, where you essentially have a big stamp, and your boss tells you, "Hey, you have to choose between these two articles. Do we want to talk about privatizing healthcare?" So that people who have good insurance will get like the life-saving treatment they need faster, or less likely to be stuck in lines. But poor people won't get almost certainly won't get coverage and get the treatment. And then it's like, okay, do you want to privatize it? Do you want to increase drug costs, or do you want to decrease them? But if you decrease them, that means that the corporations are going to have more influence, and that they'll probably push out drugs that are less tested for cheaper because they don't have funding for testing. Do you want to have more security or less security? How totalitarian do you want to be? For example, I went for low totalitarianism, and I didn't report on increased security, so people didn't feel the need that they needed extra armed guards or drones or cameras on every corner. And then suddenly there was a drone terrorist attack. So, there's, again, in the same way, Papers, Please, there are no good options. Like, you just kind of have...
Glory to Asuska.
Yeah.
No, the good option is always following the rules.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
The good option is letting Gorgie into the country, whatever his name is.
No, absolutely not.
You don't let him in with his lady cards. No, never. You never let him in with his nonsense expired bullcrap.
It's great. It's crayon.
It's okay. I'll come back. We're good friends.
Yeah, but it's actually really, really like no one has played this game. On GA, it has less than 200 people have played it. I would highly recommend it. It's really good. The only problem is that to get all the achievements, you have to do 5 playthroughs. But a playthrough is only 14 days, and the days go by basically as quick as you can. Basically, all you do is you stamp yes or no based on the criteria that you have of what goes in the news and what doesn't, based on your personal opinion, what ending you're trying to get, and also what your boss has told you need to put in, and whether you listen to them or not. Mm-hmm. And then you basically spend the rest of the day walking back to your apartment and talking to everyone along the way, and seeing how they're being affected by the things that you've been putting out in the news. And it's some pretty powerful stuff. It's actually really, really good. And also it has it leans on the fourth wall pretty heavily when you do second playthroughs. So when I started my second playthrough, I went to the first news story that I had to think was, scientists theorize that alternate universes may be available, and that people can make based on people making separate decisions. This may allow for testing of different science and political ideologies. And I definitely didn't put that in the newspaper because I didn't want people to realize that I was a time traveler. But also, it leans pretty heavily on it. People, you talk to your brother, he's like, yeah, it's really feel like I'm going through Groundhog Day. I'm just running through the same day over and over and over again on the same treadmill. It's really, really good. The writing's pretty good. There's a couple little translation things in there, but overall, I would highly recommend it. Especially if I think I've only seen it on sale maybe once or twice, but definitely keep an eye on it. It was if you're into that sort of narrative style game like I am, I would highly recommend it. I've also played some Rattle Like a Trash and cleaning up. I played through Scalatrix and Tracks. Ugh. Yeah, that's especially bad.
Which? Hold up. Scalatrix was the one that crashed every time you won a race?
Yeah, and then Tracks is the one that makes you log in every time you win a race.
And also you come in... Is it Firth or Toost?
I think it's Toost. Yeah. No, I never came Toost. I always came Firth.
Okay.
So I ended up with 9,810 points this week. So not quite the 60,000 I had last week, but still a decent number. I'm pretty happy with it. Actually, quite a bit of good gaming this week. I was pretty happy with it.
All right. And last and least, Cameron.
Well, thank you. All right, so I started off my week basically just finishing off Dead Island and Dead Island Riptide. I just had the achievement for finishing with 4 different characters, which me and Brad did for the arena. Smashed that out. I helped him with, I think, one of his achievements. Can't remember which one that was, but anyway. And then the last one was just me trying to get the setting zombies on fire and then exploding them. So I quite honestly just threw a grenade at a barrel with a horde of zombies following me, suicided, and then just went, alright, cool, I got the completion, uninstall.
Perfect, yep.
So that was fun. Died in a blaze of glory. Riptide, just had to get to level 70, so I think I played up till when you got to the swampy kind of area. Did the... what is it? Did the
duplication trick?
No, I didn't do the dupe trick. Did the just kept on going against the whatever the room is. The name.
Tear me apart, Lisa. The dead zones. Yeah.
Yeah, the dead zones. That's it. So I did a bit of that. After that,
shock knives? No shock knives.
No shock knives.
Disappointing.
No shock knives. After that, I think it was Thursday, did a Dirt Free session with Robbie, Mean Machine, Drag, and Chef. I'm one level off getting the multiplayer achievement. And then after that, I probably will get the DLC after I've done the rest of the base game, because you can unlock all the achievements in the base game, but if you buy the DLC, then you have to do the DLC and the base game kind of thing. Yep. So... yeah, just trying to make it easier on myself, but yeah, need to get to level 35 and I'm level 34. I think Drag needs to catch up by 5 levels, but otherwise we're almost there. And I have to go back and do all the platinum medals, which I'm not looking forward to. Did Minecraft Xbox One. I've got every achievement now up to date except for the Suspicious Stew, which I just need to get somebody in the game with me and get that one undone. And I've done the Android version as well, where I'm just missing 6 achievements now, which are more finicky ones on a phone. But just doing the Bluetooth off that, so I'll probably finish that up. I download the Messenger of Game Pass. So 2D...
this is the new one, right, that just came out?
Yeah, just came out. Side scroller.
It's been on PC for a bit.
Right.
Yeah. It's
side-scrolling Metroidvania.
Yeah, pretty much it. It's very enjoyable. Like, the story is very basic, but there are some really nice jokes in there, and I just wanted
Shopkeep.
like a
talk to the shopkeep.
Yeah, try and break into his cupboards. Get forced to hear a story. How ungrateful I am. It's like, dude, I'm like, all demons and that are like broken out of the underworld. All I'm trying to do is get into a cupboard, deliver a scroll. Like,
John Adams hates your guts, buddy.
Anyway, so I did that. Then the last 3 main games I did for the week are I finished Risk of Rain 1, which is basically the exact same as 2, but on a 2D plane.
When you say finished, did you do all the achievements?
I did all the achievements.
Oh, all right.
It's a much easier game.
It's a much easier game. I would dare say that it's probably a 10 to 15 hour completion, whereas in Risk of Rain 2 is probably a 20 to 25.
Yeah, that's about right.
Saying that, I really enjoyed it. Brad just bet me to the completion beforehand, but it's just so fun to join a match with Brad and then just steal everything in sight. To the point where the game penalizes you for stealing so much that it's like, I'm the nice guy now because I'm letting Brad pick up stuff. When in reality, I'm just 5 pickups in front of him.
Yeah, Brad always really appreciates... He always lets us know how much he appreciates you just completely robbing him blind.
It's just great. But, and then just... the only artifact I got from the first one is Artifact of Command, which allows you to pick how you want to get your build rather than it being randomized.
It allows you to pick what items you get
like in that
from,
category.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, right.
So rather than a white item dropping, it's just a white glowing thing that you pick from your list of white items, essentially.
Oh, sweet. Cool.
So you could have like 20 items.
Only items you've seen before. I think there sometimes have been items I haven't seen before.
I think 1, it's like every item, but 2, it's only items that you've seen before or challenges that you've used to unlock those ones. Yeah. Especially with the high level stuff. The only really, I guess, tedious achievement... Oh, well, there's 2 things to comment on. The really tedious achievement is just trying to knock the walls, which are basically like turtle-looking things, snail-looking things. I shouldn't say turtles. It's more like snail-looking things, but just pushing them off without killing them and getting 20 of them.
Crabs.
Hermit crab, yeah. It took me probably an hour and a half to get that one achievement. Also, the fact that you need to get a few miscellaneous achievements, which is like finding a robot janitor in the last level, which is basically just opening a door, but you can't do that in anything other than solo.
Right, okay.
But I think Risk of Rain, whether it be 1 or 2, is more so one of those games that as you learn about the artifacts, the items, not the artifacts, and understand their properties and what they can do and work your way around that, the more you get better at it. So it's having that...
It's, as with most roguelites, it's basically the longer you play and understand the item, the better you understand the items, the better you can do your runs.
So you guys are just going to carry me through both of these games, right?
I mean, as soon as I get to it, it's one of those games too. Like, I can't...
110% can, honestly.
Yeah.
At this point.
I can't think of a game that I've enjoyed this much since Age of Empires 2.
Well, that's saying... I mean, that's saying something. Hell, I mean, I might actually have to play something for fun. Who knows?
Yeah. But, like, I'm absolutely loving it, and I feel like it's going to be one of those games that I have to force myself to uninstall so I don't come back to it. Like, after I'm done with it. But, yeah, so really enjoyed that. Really enjoyed 2. The whole aim of my game is to purely pick up more items than Brad and prevent him from anything. Actually, I should say that, was it you that was getting the item for Aftos 2 nights ago? To which I... So you were giving...
Hey, Aftos, I've got a lot of items and I've got some money. I'll open this chest for you. You can have it. Oh, yeah, at that moment. Yeah, that moment. So I said... Because Aftos has basically said, man, I don't really have any money and I haven't got many items. I said, okay, I'll open this chest for you. Here, I've marked it. You come over here, you let me know when you're here and I'll open it. And he's like, yep, I'm here. So I open it and Cameron goes, no, he's not. But I've already opened it because he said yes.
In the span of like the 5 seconds of them organising this opening the chest
opens, the item comes out. Aftos is walking to it. Cameron's sprinting straight through the item and gets it.
And I should say he's like right next to the item, like 1 second away. I don't sprint. I jump off the side of a mountain, roll, hit it, pick it up, and then he's like, what just happened?
Just bounce out of there.
Like, legit, just fell straight into the item, picked it up, and ran. It's like, what just happened? But, yeah, look, my main aim of the game is just to take all the items from Brad and to make Brad's life not a living hell, but just remind him why he plays Remnant with me. For the enjoyability.
Oh, God, yeah. Well, I didn't talk about Remnant, but we did try fighting the new boss, and it did not go well.
Yeah, forgot to put that on the list. But, yeah, she's powerful.
Yeah, no, she's many words that I cannot use on this podcast, but powerful. Yeah, let's go with that.
Yeah, basically, I feel like it's going to be like when we finally get that done. You see me rolling all over the place.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Like, legit, that's all you do for that boss. Saying that, final game I played for quite a bit over the weekend was Dying Light.
Never heard of it.
So, yeah, anyway. Dying Light is probably one of my favourite zombie games, and as I keep saying to Alex, a much better game than Dead Island, to which he doesn't believe me, but that's another story.
It's a zombie game with running zombies, but you can also run.
It's basically good Dead Island with Mirror's Edge kind of movement. Started playing through the following DLC. Absolutely loving it. Absolutely loving the fact that they got like a large area, add like a vehicle into it. Just feels very natural. Enjoying the story about this cult using the smoke to prevent themselves getting bitten from the zombies, the faceless. Me, Aftos, and Alex tried to run the Bozak trials, which it's described as the Bozak Horde, but it's actually just 20 trials. It is hard. It is like hardest DLC I've done for a while. I think after the 2 or 3 hours, we were getting to like trial 15 and just kept dying. I've been looking into duplication glitches, trying to get my level up to basically just roll us through there. But the only way to do it is using an offline method, which I have a digital copy of the game.
Oof.
And I don't know if I'm prepared to spend $30 to get this done, or try and get somebody else to run me through it that's a higher level. But everybody that I've spoken to in the achievement community basically said, yeah, we're not going near that again.
Yeah, that's yeah. I've heard it's really good, but also like it is one of those things you just don't want to go back to.
Mike said she got through it on the hair of her nether regions.
Whew.
Was her description of it. So,
all right, well, I think that's probably going to go further in the backlog then.
Yep. But yeah, really enjoyed it and ended up with 4,345 for the week.
Pretty good.
So,
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Not bad. Good size.
Yeah. You did okay, I guess.
How's Alex doing?
Alex did better than me, to be honest. This week, Alex did. Let's have a quick look.
He was playing. What was he playing yesterday? Can't remember.
I don't care what he's playing. Alex got 2,500 basically, and is playing Deliver Us the Moon.
Oh yeah, it's an alright game.
So
that's it.
Yeah, not bad. Okay, moving into sales. Big sale this week. Or is it just me?
It was quite a lot on sale there. Yeah,
I feel like
on sale.
A lot of the same old stuff.
Yeah, for the most part.
Yeah, it's still good. Gamerscore games we want to highlight: 1979 Revolution Black Friday, really good game.
Yeah,
kind of your Telltale style point and click adventure games, but really interesting historical time period and story it's chosen to portray. Very good. The Council Complete Edition is 75% off, $6.24. Matt, you like this one?
Yeah, I love that. I love the Council. I think it's again run a narrative kick. It's very much like the Telltale games, but has a lot more of the investigative elements that you would usually find in something like a kind of a cross between a point and click and something more like a Mass Effect conversation tree, where you got to try and balance some stats around how people. What people are strong against, what they're weak against in terms of conversation. Like, do you use logic? Do you use diplomacy? Do you try to science the hell out of them? It's really quite interesting. I mean, the walkthrough on TA does make it, super, super easy. But even just playing through it for the narrative is really interesting. And like I've always said, it goes places that you would not expect.
Okay. After that, we've got Capcom Beat 'em Up Bundle, 50% off, $9.99. That's how many games is it?
5,
8?
I think. Yeah, I think it's 5.
Five or six games of classic Capcom beat 'em ups. Really good. There's the one where you get to be different monsters. There's the one where you get to be different racist Asian guys. There's the one where you get to be different Knights of the Round Table. There's the one where you get to be the alien ones.
I think so. Yeah, you just walk from left to right. You just beat the crap out of everything that comes across your path, basically.
And have to play with someone else for a little bit.
Yep. Yeah, like we did. Yes, I forgot about that. Yes.
Yeah. Deployment's 70% off, $2.99. Twin stick shooter. I think there's a couple achievements. There's, I think, one achievement that some people struggle with, but in general, it is relatively easy, and you should get it within an hour, if not a couple hours.
Yeah.
Sea of Solitude, 60% off, $7.99. I think I've put like an hour into it.
Yeah, it's it's a 3 or 4 hour, or it's maybe 4 or 5 hour game, 3D platforming with collectibles and some puzzle elements, a lot of swimming. Tells a sort of interesting narrative about depression and some other interesting bits and pieces. Again, it's more for the experience and the art and everything else rather than the game itself. But it's I'd say, and it's not too difficult. Yeah, the only thing is that the collectibles are strewn around this sort of open, semi-open world, so you do have to sort of platform your way around a bit and get used to the controls, but otherwise it's pretty good.
Yep. And last but definitely also least, We Are the Dwarves, 70% off, $4.49.
Oh yeah, that game's bad. It's easy though.
It's I don't know whether I'm glitched or I'm too dumb and I'm stuck where I'm stuck. I know I hit a point where I was like, I don't know how to progress, and I wasn't sure if I was just missing it or like something going wrong.
The game itself is very poorly designed, so there are points where it's like, wow, this is just massively unbalanced and just doesn't work. So you just have to sort of cheese your way through it. So and the game is short, but it also feels long.
Yeah. I think you're gonna have to I think it's 6 to 8 hours.
Yeah, if that. Yeah.
But it feels.
Yeah.
I mean, it feels like I've already played for that. And I've probably only done like 2.
Yes, it's the pipe push paradise problem.
Yep. That's. Except you're allowed to stop halfway in We Are the Dwarves. Yes. You're allowed to stop and quit, and thank God that you're allowed to quit because. Yeah. Other games aren't so nice. Pipe Push Paradise, terrible game. Recommendations. Start with Matt.
I'm going to go with Anima Gated Memories, 60% off, $7.99. So this is what I've been playing this week. I would definitely recommend it. It's the TA says it's a 20 to 25 hour completion. You'll get it done in like 15 if you're following the walkthrough. My first playthrough maybe 8 to 10 hours, and then my second one I'm just rushing through. I'll get it done in probably 3 or 4. So realistically, it's probably a 15 to 20 hour game tops. Okay. I also recommend Star Wars Jedi: Fallen Order trademark, 50% off, $29.99. Still a little bit expensive, but it's the best Star Wars game that I've played in many years. I had a great time with it. It is one of those things that I played it pretty much as soon as it came out. I didn't buy it when it came out, but I played it. And if you're into Star Wars, if you're into sort of Sekiro, that sort of Sekiro Metroidvania-esque style of game, then definitely get into it.
All right, Cameron.
All right. I pretty much just asked my girlfriend because most of the games I saw were like the usual suspects in the sale. To which Nikita told me to get Mortal Kombat 11, which we already own. It's $35 at the moment, but her reasoning behind it is this is just one of the Mortal Kombat you can buy. Realistically, you should buy them all. It is a fine game. It's fun and it has blood. And that was the description she gave me.
All right, accurate. Awesome. Having quickly looked through it, I found my recommendation. More Fight. It's a lesser played game. 800 or so people played on TA. Only 24 have completed, but I don't think that's because it's super difficult. I think it's just sort of... It's very easy to drop and pick up and sort of... It's basically No Man's Sky, but better because there's less to it.
Alright, I'm going to look into this.
Like, it's not as complicated as No Man's Sky. It's much simpler and therefore better. And also, it was out on Xbox before No Man's Sky was, so technically No Man's Sky is the crappier More Fight.
It's also a really good deal.
It's a fantastic deal.
It's like
have now
it's
closed
$3.
It's 80% off, $3.99. So normally like $20. Really good. As for things we're buying, Cameron.
I'm probably going to pick up Xenoblade Racer for $5. 90% off at the moment. Been looking for this RDB, which is $10, but couldn't find a copy, so it's nice that I can get it digital. What are you guys?
Yeah. I am probably going to get As Divine Menace. It's a Chemco game that I don't own, so that's my reasoning. 40% off, $8.99. And I'm also looking at the Sinking City, because it's 75% off, $14.99, and that seems like that'd be my price point to jump on it, given it's 40 whatever percent off. 75% off.
It's the lowest it's been for sure.
It's kind of what's the Lovecraft?
Yeah, Lovecraftian.
It's a Lovecraftian style horror in a kind of detective-y, but also a little bit third-person shooter game. It's by the guys who did the Sherlock Holmes games on the Xbox, Frogwares. I think it's published by Big Ben or Big Ant or Big whatever.
Big crap.
So that's unfortunate because they're terrible publishers. But that seems like the kind of point I would dive into it. Nothing fantastic coming out this week. There is a new Sword Art Online game, but I don't want to pronounce it because I hated the anime. Didn't get this far into it.
I watched the first
whatever
season
this-
and it was trash.
Watch Abridged. That's the only one you should watch.
I got.
I don't have time for that nonsense.
Abridged is
I'm busy
good.
watching Hunter x Hunter.
Yeah. But we did get a question from a listener, Isaac. Isaac, we love you. You're back. I'm glad you didn't die of coronavirus, which I don't know if you had, but you didn't die of it, so I'm not wrong. And he writes in and says, so back in the 360 days, I had a PS3 for the exclusives. One such game was The Last of Us. The gameplay was terrible, but the story was compelling enough for me to finish the whole game. You're not wrong there. Now Last of Us Part 2 is out, and I have no interest in owning a PS4, nor do I want to experience that crappy gameplay again. It's worse. It's worse now. But I've decided to watch the game being played on YouTube so I can see the story. Are there any games on Xbox or otherwise that you feel people should experience even though they're awful? Just on The Last of Us Part 2, the reason the gameplay is so bad is because it's got the Red Dead Redemption 2 syndrome, where it's just too much minutia.
Over animated, yeah.
Yeah. Also, every time you kill... I say every time because I haven't played it, but from what I hear, every time you kill an enemy, they like yell out one of a set like 5 names. Like they'll yell out Mark, like their person, and the person that's died is named Mark, and they're actually upset that the person has died.
They got really boring with naming people in the apocalypse, I guess. It's just the same 5 names.
God,
So-
everybody that survived the apocalypse is called Mark. Who would have guessed?
Caden!
Like you kill someone and they're like, Jack, no. But like
Eureka!
properly, they do it properly, but it's like every time you kill someone.
Can you snipe in The Last of Us 2?
Probably with a bow and arrow. I don't know that you get a sniper rifle. I don't know. I haven't actually played it.
No,
so she can mark them.
You can mark them without a sniper.
no, okay, no.
I think hearing it will come as no surprise. The game that I think is awful, but I feel like people should still probably play it, is Life is Strange.
Yep.
Yeah, that was my first thought.
I mean, like,
Story,
I don't know about awful, but it's definitely not. Yeah.
It's awful.
I want to
But
say
I
that
feel like it's also something that everyone needs to experience.
the start of the end of episode 2 and the start of episode 3 is the main thing that sells Life is Strange for me.
Yeah, I would agree.
They give you all this awesome, cool thing, and then they take it away from you later. And instead of you being like, "Oh my god, now things matter," you're just like, "This is dumb. Why can't I use my awesome, cool thing anymore?"
You are
Like, that's-
you are an absolute monster. You.
That's how it works. Is
Oh,
you
boy.
get this awesome, cool thing,
Oh,
Yeah,
and
okay.
then suddenly,
I'm not
suddenly
getting
it's
into
never
this
taken
debate.
away from you later. It's in other episodes. It's not until you're in a really bad situation and there's a reason it's not working. Like it's never gone from you after that.
I don't
you can
know.
move a
I
damn
don't know if I
whale,
want to say anything of the
No,
story.
don't.
But
No,
no.
It is a story worth experiencing.
but no
I-
valid reason it didn't work.
I did watch Girlfriend's Reviews, which is a YouTube channel, on The Last of Us 2, and I thought how Naughty Dog have actually done it is very interesting. Made me think after
Through
whether I've
20
actually...
hours of overtime a day.
Sorry?
Through 20 hours of overtime a day.
Yeah, well,
That's how they did it.
and some other misconduct charges. Yeah.
I'm trying to think of any other games, though, with, like... Life is Strange is the only one I can think of off the top of my head that has that kind of narrative that kind of made me think after the game had finished.
I would say the ones of the game where the story is quote unquote more important or worth experiencing.
Season 1 of The Walking Dead.
Yeah, I would say yes. Season 1 of The
the-
Walking Dead is especially good.
Gameplay now
Definitely.
is rough, but the story's good.
Deadly Premonition is an obvious one. Because their gameplay is not great. But that story is worth experiencing, though. I mean, look, it's not going to win any awards, but it's essentially Twin Peaks, and I love Twin Peaks.
But it feels hard to recommend it, is the thing.
Oh no, I'll always recommend it. I don't care. That game is
It's so hard to recommend.
such a great game. I think Reset said he was having a good time with it, although he said the driving was awful.
What's that? A Nippon Marathon?
I've got that sitting in my backlog.
Nippon Marathon, the gameplay is awful, but I think it's so wacky and Japanese and dumb that
right.
you need to experience it.
I had another one that I was thinking of. Yeah.
Anthem.
No, don't even.
Cancel.
Don't even pretend to trick people into playing that.
Metal Gear Survive.
Actually, all the Metal Gears, except for 5. I was actually, I could say Metal Gears, all the Metal Gears 1 through 4. Just the gameplay is fine, but Alistair and I actually just watched the entire Metal Gear series. Some guy put together a video of it. It was like 12 hours long. And we just watched the whole thing. She loved it. You enjoyed it, right? It was great. You learned so much.
I was going to say shape-shifting detective.
Wow.
Yeah, but that's not awful.
And late shift.
That's not awful.
Yeah,
though.
I mean,
they're good.
yeah, those. I mean, like FMV.
Yeah, but I'm like stuff that's stuck with me over time though.
Yeah, but the question was, what games do you think people should experience, even though they are awful?
Okay,
Those aren't awful games. Those are good games they should experience. Those don't count. Your answers are bad, and you should feel bad.
I mean, My Horse and Me Too
Award
is the
you no
obvious
points,
answer.
and may God have mercy on your soul.
Billy Madison is a terrible movie.
Billy Madison is a movie you should experience, even though it is awful.
Yeah, that's a yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, I'd say like if you look at the my trophy case for my 100,000 games, most of those are games that you should experience, even though they're terrible. Like Leisure Suit Larry. That's oh boy,
I have that.
That's a gem.
You heard it here first. 2021 is the year of me playing non-backwards compatible games on my Xbox 360. You heard it here first.
Yeah, so I need to make that the title of the episode, otherwise we won't be able to hold them to it.
You heard it here first.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Yeah, but no, I think there.
I'm trying to think terrible.
The early, like a lot of the 360. So actually, you know, the answer is another good answer is Bioshock Infinite. Is that like again? It gets a lot of stick for its narrative because it was following on from the first and the second game in some ways, but gameplay-wise, it's basically worse in every single way. Like the gunplay is not as good. The powers aren't as interesting.
The power-ups are terrible.
The enemy design is not great.
The skyhook is not.
Yeah, exactly.
Fun.
The combat scenario, the boss fights and combat scenarios that put you in are just worse. But like the story is actually quite interesting. I mean, like it is you know, baby's first quantum mechanics, but I still think that it's worth experiencing. You know, like put it on easy, just rush through it.
This is purely achievement based, but trying to do Wolfenstein 2 on the hardest difficulty.
God. Yeah, actually, that's another
good story, but just a game that the achievements ruin it for me.
I mean, how many games have it where you can basically you just stomp on Hitler's head? It's and the fact that Ronald Reagan gets shot in that game is hilarious, because he's an actor and it's an alternate history.
I'm trying to think what else.
Yeah, I think like most games are gameplay first, so it's like, you know, we'll get to the narrative at some stage because most people don't care that much about narrative.
Actually, Murdered Soul Suspect.
Yeah, actually that's although
really good one, but just collectibles and all that. It's a really good story.
It was a pretty good story. Yeah.
Which game?
Murdered Soul Suspect.
Murdered Soul Suspect.
It was alright.
But it was one of those games, though, that getting all the collectibles, though, takes you out of the experience. And I feel like when you're actually immersed in that experience, it's a much better game.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, I've got my final one. You're in the movie. Because if you have never experienced the awfulness that is a vision cam, that is the perfect game to do it.
Totem Ball is also
as you then resort to waving your hand in front of the vision cam as it sits on your desk.
Yep.
All right. Well, I think we probably milked the hell out of that question. Isaac, so you've got a whole new list of things that you should be looking into, buddy. I expect to see them all on your tag by the end of the week.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you, Skype. I bet you changed my... This is going to make no sense to the rest of you. I'm still recording. They can still hear me. I guarantee Skype has changed my output device.
It's fine. It's fine. I'll just cut it out.
Oh. No. Leave it in there. I found it. It's back.
Oh.
I don't know what happened, but it's back.
Okay, I've got one last one.
Yeah, right. What is it?
No, we've moved on. Too late.
No.
What is it, Cameron? Just say it so I can edit it out later and just save us the trouble.
NCIS.
Fuck off. Okay, no, that is not. No.
This is what happens when you let him do what he wants.
No.
This is what
No,
happens.
this is all getting edited out. None of this is making it.
It's going to be ask the question. You saying deadly premonition, and then
That's
that's
it. Yeah, they'll just edit out the whole. Yeah, it's actually the whole podcast.
Yeah. What did you play? Deadly premonition. What about you, Cameron? Deadly premonition. Milestones. You guys have been busy this week. For achievements 1, we have Retro Chief 1969, who has won 6,000 achievements. Valak C has won 13,000 achievements. Old Mate Clown has earned 15,000 achievements. Black Buff has earned 17,000 achievements. R56 Cooper S11 has got 18,000, and Thrash Forever has reached 44,000. I thought I misread that, but then I remembered who he was.
Yep, he's thrashing it all right.
I nearly swore. 44,000.
It's a lot, yeah.
It's many.
I mean, it's like, you know, it's not as many as me, but it is a lot. It's a lot.
Is it less achievements than
It's
you?
definitely less achievements than me.
Because he's done a lot. He does a lot more like
Yeah.
10 achievement games. Yeah,
I'm at 50,000,
Yeah.
but you know,
was gonna say, did you
this
hit
isn't
your
about
50?
me, you know.
Not yet. Not till we get. Gamerscore. Tony Coconuts has reached 150,000 Gamerscore. Mark B has hit 300,000 Gamerscore. R56 Cooper S11 has reached 400,000, and Mad Eye Pad Eye has reached 800,000. I don't care if those milestones weren't on the nose; they still count for me. TA score. Crunchflake has reached 300,000. Big L has hit 1 million. Prue has hit 1.3 million. We're getting into really big numbers now. Thrash Forever has reached 2.2 million, and Neomaster has reached 2.5 million. Yeah, you are under 2 ratio.
I'm definitely under 2 ratio, yeah.
There's virtually no chance you, at this point in your game score, get back over a 2 ratio, is there?
I mean, I could do, but like I would have to.
You'd have to be playing 4 ratio games.
Yeah, like I would essentially have to. Yeah, exactly. Like yeah, if I stuck to playing 2 ratio games, I wouldn't do it. Like I would have to do. I'd have to Master Chief Collection it, and I would have to try and. Yeah, exactly. Like that's the only way.
And
It
get
would
a
on your
lot of games with
forces.
gold inflation and stuff. Yeah. Alright. Matoy13 has reached 250 games played, but Prue has hit 700 completed games.
Ooh.
And Big L is on a 2,750 day achievement win streak. So that's pretty good. That's, I think he's top 10.
Some good numbers. Yeah, that's great.
That's nearly... I was going to make
No,
a bad
nope.
joke and say nearly 5 whole years, but
Nope. Quick maths.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's less than 10 years.
Good job, buddy.
Okay. As you can see, this is the part of the show where we get a bit loopy and go off the rails because we were so good before. If you would like to... I've clicked... Sorry, I clicked the wrong thing. I clicked the thing that says contact us, and it literally only has @RealGamerscore. It's the one slightly below it that has everything.
We're organised on
That's
this
what
show.
happens when I...
Good
Yeah,
job.
that's what
buddy.
happens when I take a week off. I was like, who deleted the rest of them? What? If you want to email us like Isaac does, send an email to hello@realgamerscore.com. Abuse Cameron on the Twitter @realgamerscore. Join us in the Discord for live chat, discord.io/realgamerscore, or give us money at patreon.com/realgamerscore. We say this every week, but we appreciate the patrons. You keep the lights running. You keep our awesome backgrounds in Skype going. I couldn't afford my Skype background if it wasn't for you.
No, what I think what he means is he can't afford the legal fees when someone sees them. And
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
I wonder if I should start posting this
No.
week's Skype background in the patron chat.
No.
I mean, hey, look,
Like,
you know, like
this
there's, when you do the @ here for the podcast, you just take a screenshot of one of our things and just be like, hey, the podcast is out. Also, this horrific image.
So we did this. This week we were cancelled for.
Yep.
Yeah, so if you want to contact us with the questions on any of those platforms, feel free to do so. Contact any of us individually as well. If you'd like to guest on the show, contact Professor Pluto. Just annoy him. He does nothing with his day. You know what he said to me, guys? He said, "Oh, Kirby, you can take my spot on the podcast this week," as if
As if
it
he
was
had a
not the
spot.
other, as if it wasn't the other way around. That last week he was taking my spot. What a pretentious little.
He grows
See,
one
this is where
beard and suddenly.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. If you want to help out the podcast, subscribe on iTunes or whatever platform you're on. Subscribing is one of the most helpful ways. The other most helpful way is to leave a review, 5 stars. Tell everyone how much you love it. Word of mouth is the number one way to spread word.
Yep.
That sounded dumb. It's the best way to get it out there. I know it's really annoying to tell someone, hey, you should listen to this podcast, but do it. Do it for us. Do it because you love us. Do it because we love you. Tell everyone in your boosting sessions, hey, this is a great podcast to listen to while I grind, whatever. Just push it. Push it, and then we can grow bigger and we can do better things. We can hire an editor so that we don't have to look dumb every week. Sound dumb, even. I look dumb regardless, but we might not have to sound dumb. Retweet us on Twitter. Cameron is doing a fantastic job with engagement, but retweet us, the show, putting out the next episodes live, all that sort of stuff. Subscribe to us on YouTube. The episodes also go up on YouTube. I don't know how many people watch on YouTube, to be honest. I will probably take a look after recording. But yeah, do it there. Patreon, as I said before, all really helpful. Cameron, how do people get in contact with you?
Just same old as always. Contact me as Shadowless Space Edge on Xbox, on TA. If you want to get a hold of me on Twitter, just under the Real Gamerscore podcast, and on Facebook under the admin of the Xbox Achievement community.
Awesome. Matt, what about yourself?
Yes, you can contact me on Neomaster on everything. I welcome all feedback and criticism, at least for this week. Next week, you might not be so lucky, so get in quick.
All right. And myself, you can contact me on Twitter, on trueachievements.com, on Xbox Live, on the Discord, or on Twitch, because that other one is dead to us all. All of these under the handle ChinDocta, that's ChinDocta. Cheer me on in the Rumble and the J Blungle. Look, hopefully I make top 10. That's honestly, there's 26 of us. Hopefully I make top 10.
You can do it. Or you can't.
I gotta hit.
It's entirely up to you, actually.
Those are the two options, that's for sure. If anything, as long as the hard challenges come on the weekends where I have a bit of time, because at the moment I finish work and then eat dinner and sleep. Because we're getting hammered. That's what happens. But yeah, there's a awesome show. Episode 98 in the bag. Thank you very much, everyone. And don't forget, it was good for you.